Hi everyone! Welcome back to C2 Novel and Vocab Week 9, and this video is for our novel. So in this video, we'll be going over difficult phrases from the novel, and this is to help with cultural fluency. By becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, which means different sayings, students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate, which means to use, these phrases to convey their ideas more precisely. And for today's video, we'll be going over James and the Giant Peach, and we'll be going over chapters 18 through 23. Now, if you don't already, please go ahead and get your James and the Giant Peach book so that we can read together. And for our first quote, let's turn to page 57. 57. Very good. All right. Page 57, we're going to start from the top of chapter 18, from the very beginning, okay? It says, "A minute later, they were out in the open, standing on the very top of the peach, near the stem, blinking their eyes in the strong sunlight and peering nervously around. What happened? Where are we? But this is impossible! Unbelievable! Terrible! I told you we were bobbing up and down," the ladybug said. "We're in the middle of the sea," cried James. So, here, I'm not sure if you saw the video. Let me press the video again. Here we have apples that are bobbing in the water. They're floating. And before I get started with my explanation, this game here is called Bobbing for Apples. Okay, so in America, when it's time for Halloween, we put all these apples in like a big, large container with water, and then the apples will bob. They're floating on the water, and what you have to do is without your hands, and you just have to grab the apple with your mouth. It's quite unsanitary and a bit dirty, but this is a game that they used to play. I'm not sure about if they play it now, but probably not. So let's go back to bobbing up and down. What does this mean? The phrase bobbing up and down refers to a light, repetitive, and gentle motion of rising and falling, like something floating on water. As you can see in my picture here, I have a peach bobbing on top of the ocean. The verb bob is often used to describe the motion of objects floating and moving with the rhythm of the waves and the currents, so as you can see in this picture. But why is this phrase used in this book? In the story, this phrase is likely to describe the movement of the peach gently moving up and down in the water like it is floating like a boat. So when can we use this phrase for other times? You can say, the boat bobbed up and down in the water as the waves rolled in. So if you have ever seen over at the yacht area in Marine City, all the yachts there are bobbing up and down. They're just going with the flow of the water, right? Or I can say, I saw the apple bobbing up and down while I was washing them. So when you're washing your apples, you usually put them in water, have them soak up a little bit there, and they're all just bobbing. They don't sink, but they're floating with the water. Okay? So you can also say this when you're out swimming, right? You can say, I was bobbing up and down in the waves of the ocean, if you're there just lying on your back. Bobbing up and down. Let's go to page 59. 59. I'm going to start from 1, 2, 3, the third indent from the bottom. So look at the indent at the bottom and go up. 1, 2, 3. And it starts with by golly. Okay? It says, by golly, he's right, cried the centipede. For once, earthworm is right. Of course I'm right, the earthworm said. And we're not likely to find anything around here either. We shall get thinner and thinner and thirstier and thirstier. And we shall die a slow, grisly death from starvation. I am dying already. I am slowly shriveling up for want of food. Personally, I would rather drown. But good heavens, you must be blind, said James. You know very well I'm blind, snapped the earthworm. There's no need to rub it in. What does it mean to rub? When we rub our eyes, we're like rubbing, right? Or when we rub our hands, when we're washing our hands with soap, we rub it like this. Kind of like the pictures that I have here. But does this mean James is rubbing something in on the earthworm literally and physically? No, no, no. Here, rubbing it in means repeatedly reminding someone or something unpleasant or embarrassing, often to make them feel worse about it. So the phrase likely comes from the idea of aggravating or annoying a wound, something that you've gotten hurt, by literally rubbing something into it, making it hurt more. So a lot of people say, don't put salt on your wound, or you're putting salt on my wound. That means they're not literally putting salt on your cut, but you're saying, oh, you're making me feel worse because you're putting salt on my cut. That would hurt a lot. Just like if you have a cut and you're rubbing it, that would also hurt. So here, rubbing it in means you're hurting my feelings even more. So, why is this phrase used? The earthworm here is annoying because he already knows that he's blind, but because James is saying that he's blind again here, he's like, no need to rub it in. I already know that I'm blind. He's very sensitive to the issue that he's blind. So when can we use this in real talk? You can say, she made a mistake, but there's no need to rub it in. Meaning, she made a mistake. Don't continually make fun of her. Don't continually remind her of her mistake. Just let it go. Or you can say, after his team lost, his friends kept rubbing it in by reminding him of the score. So say that we're playing soccer and the score was 0-3. And everyone's like, haha, you lost 0-3? That's horrible. That means that they keep rubbing it in. Something that someone already feels horrible and sad about, but they're rubbing it in, making them feel worse. Has anyone rubbed something in your face before? I know one time I was trying to run away, and then I slipped while I was trying to run away. And then all my friends, instead of helping me up, they came over and they're, ha ha, Kimberly, you fell. That's what you get for trying to run away, ha ha. They kept rubbing it in that not only were they trying to catch me, but I also fell trying to run away. Rubbing it in. Woo! Let's go to page 60, which is the next page over. And since this is a short page, I'll read it all. Ready? We're going to start from the top. Let me read. Let's go. I didn't mean that, said James quickly. I'm sorry, but can't you see that? See? Shouted the poor earthworm. How can I see if I am blind? He keeps rubbing it in. James took a deep, slow breath. Can't you realize, he said patiently, that we have enough food here to last us for